Welcome to Religion Unpacked. The Book of Enoch and the Nephilim. The banned Book of Enoch, fallen angels, Nephilim, and the true cause of the flood. When we think of angels, we usually picture beautiful, glowing beings with white wings, playing harps, and protecting humanity. But there is an ancient text that tells a very different, terrifying story. It tells of a time when 200 angels looked down from heaven, lusted after human women, and decided to abandon their divine posts. They descended to earth, made a demonic pact, and gave birth to a race of bloodthirsty giants that nearly devoured the world. These giants were called the Nephilim, and their existence was so destructive that God had to drown the entire planet to wipe them out. Today, we are going to unpack the most fascinating, cinematic, and controversial text that was banned from the Bible, the Book of Enoch. We will explore the rebellion of the Watchers, the forbidden ancient knowledge they gave to humanity, and the shocking reason why the early church decided you were never supposed to read it. For centuries, the Book of Enoch was considered a myth. Western scholars thought it was completely lost to history. But in the 18th century, explorers discovered that the Ethiopian Orthodox Church had preserved it perfectly. They had kept it in their official Bible all along. Any doubts about its authenticity were shattered in 1947 when fragments of the Book of Enoch were found among the Dead Sea Scrolls. This proved that the text was widely read and highly respected by the Jewish people during the time of Jesus. The story of Enoch begins with a specific class of angels known as the Watchers. Their job was exactly what it sounds like, to observe humanity. But observation turned into obsession. Led by a powerful angel named Semyaza, 200 Watchers gathered on the summit of Mount Hermon. Semyaza was afraid. He knew that what they were about to do was a massive sin against God. He made all 200 angels swear an oath and bind themselves by a mutual curse, ensuring that they would all share the blame. The Watchers descended, took human wives, and began to interact with humanity in a way that was strictly forbidden. They didn't just cross a biological line, they crossed a technological one. According to the Book of Enoch, humanity was primitive and innocent, but the Watchers changed everything by teaching humans the secrets of heaven. An angel named Azazel taught men how to forge swords, knives, shields, and breastplates. He introduced humanity to the art of warfare. Azazel also taught women how to make bracelets, ornaments, and how to use cosmetics and antimony to beautify their eyelids. Other angels taught the arts of sorcery, incantations, astrology, and the reading of the stars. In the eyes of the text, the Watchers violently accelerated human corruption. They armed humanity and taught them how to destroy themselves. But the ultimate crime of the Watchers was their offspring. The human women gave birth to hybrids, half-human, half-angelic monstrosities known as the Nephilim. These were not the gentle giants of fairy tales. The Book of Enoch describes them as towering behemoths with an insatiable supernatural hunger. At first, they devoured all the crops and labor of men. When the humans could no longer feed them, the Nephilim turned on the humans. They began to eat people. They drank blood. They even turned on each other, committing cannibalism. The earth was crying out under the weight of this horrific violence and unnatural corruption. The cries of the dying humans finally reached the highest levels of heaven. The four great archangels, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, looked down and saw the blood-soaked earth. They went to the throne of God and pleaded for him to intervene. God's response is the catalyst for the most famous disaster story in the world. He tells Uriel to go to a man named Noah and warn him of an impending flood. According to Enoch, the great flood wasn't just to punish bad humans. Its primary purpose was to cleanse the earth of the Nephilim giants and wipe out the corrupted DNA they had created. God then commands Raphael to bind the angel Azazel hand and foot and cast him into darkness, into a jagged pit in the desert, where he will remain until the final judgment. Michael is ordered to bind Semyaza and the rest of the Watchers. They are forced to watch their giant children slaughter each other, and then they are locked away in the fiery abysses of the earth, for 70 generations. In the middle of all this cosmic chaos stands Enoch. He is a human, the great-grandfather of Noah. He is so righteous that God takes him up into the heavens while he is still alive. The imprisoned watchers are so terrified that they actually beg Enoch, a mere human, to write a petition to God on their behalf. Enoch travels to the edge of the universe, sees the storehouses of the winds and the fiery prisons of the stars. He brings the petition to God, but the answer is absolute: no forgiveness. The Watchers have brought ruin to the earth. So, if this story is so detailed and was found with the Dead Sea Scrolls, why isn't it in your Bible? In the 1st century, early Christians loved the Book of Enoch. In fact, the biblical Book of Jude actually quotes Enoch directly. But by the 4th century, influential church fathers like Saint Augustine began to reject it. The main theological problem was the angels. Later Christian theology decided that angels were purely spiritual beings without physical bodies. Therefore, it was biologically impossible for them to have relations with human women and create giants. The church decided the story was too bizarre, too mythological, and too dangerous. The Book of Enoch was stripped from the canonical Bible, suppressed, and nearly forgotten. But the Book of Enoch leaves us with a profound and terrifying concept. It suggests that human evil isn't entirely our own fault. We were interfered with. We were taught the tools of our own destruction by cosmic beings who rebelled against the natural order. Whether it is literal history or a brilliant ancient allegory, the Book of Enoch remains one of the most powerful stories ever told about the origins of evil. And that is the mystery of the Nephilim unpacked. Thank you for watching Religion Unpacked. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a new upload.